Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lilui nishmas miros pas Mordechai. Start off with the gewaldige cars here. This one is a real MDY car, and this is MDY A. Now guess which one is the man's and which one he gave his wife.
Clearly the Tesla is the man's.
Clearly. This is also the MDY women's magnet. Pashat. I mean, he did his wife a taiva, like, electric is for shvacha people, yeah. I want to show you this because I think it's very, very important. Oh, Hill is here. Hill's daughter took this video without Hill knowing. Supposedly he didn't know about this. In I don't know, 10, 11 days, we're starting Avodah Zarah, whenever it is. And it's one of the last opportunities before brachas to get a ton of people. We have to get people. A lot of people stepped up to the plate. As a matter of fact, right before Shabbos, someone donated another $15,000 towards the Gemara campaign. People are mamish stepping up. So we have to do our job and get a friend. A friend brings a friend. Chaver mevi chaver. That's the only way to do it. What happened to your hand over there, Rabbi Stefansky? That's with your business? Cutting meat? Really? Refuah Shleima. This is how it's done. Wherever you go, you have an opportunity. Here it is. Check this out.
תשים ביוטיוב אלי סטפנסקי. עכשיו כל יום יש דף יומי. יש ברמה א', ואתה יכול ללמוד פה ביוטיוב. כל יום. אתה עושה את זה? כל יום אני עושה את זה. אשריך. אתה. זה חיים אחרת, באמת. בעזרת השם. חיים אחרת. בעזרת השם. כל יום.
That's a very shit, isn't it?
I've always said, check out this chabura of Chashuvim in Borough Park on 18th Avenue. They get together, I think every day, 9 o'clock. As a matter of fact, they are live right now. Well, not over here. What is it called? Manastritz. Manastritz. There's over 40 people that signed up to be there tonight. So hopefully there's a nice olam. They all came to see Arichas Simon in the flesh. So it's not pashut. We're used to it. We see him every day. Some people, they travel, they go all over just to see Arichas Simon. All right. Oh.
He has what to say. He has what to say.
No one could hear him. Wow. No shomim.
You could hear him. You could hear him without hearing him. Like, he's like. Oh, okay. Turn it off. What are you doing up there? Turn it off. We'll break the speakers here. What are you doing? Shoot. The Masechta sponsor, leave him on, leave him on. I'm doing the sponsors, leave him on. We want to see him. The Masechta sponsors anonymous Hatzlacha bruchnius is. Look at that oilam over there. Wow, look at that crowd. I see Eli Dyckman. Eli! All the way on the left, bottom left. Shalom Aleichem Eli. We're going to get to your name in a second. Masechta sponsors anonymous Hatzlacha bruchnius. Monthly sponsors ActualEyes in honor of David Duvie, Merkin of Eastern Union, all the Silver Spring daffersEli. Dyckman! For the Refuah Shleima of Teinok ben Rivka. He says, Israel powered by TALKNSAVE. Weekly, what are you saying, Mendy? You're speaking louder than me. You want to, hello, you want to say the, okay. So, Anonymous, in honor of Reb Eli's family and the whole MDY staff that continue to spread Torah. Daily sponsored, Anonymous. Anonymous dedicated to HASHEM ein oid milvadoi. And Reb Moshe Handler, who just got off from Shiva, lilui nishmas, my son, dovid yitzchok. May everyone have arichas yomim from now on. Wow. MDY Kids Monthly, Kidnovations, Chus for Fishel, Chonan, Akiva, Rivki, Mrs. Stefansky, Art of the Month, Refuah Shleima, for Yonatan Eitan ben Besheva Bracha, who came last night to the shir, gave us all chizuk, for Chus for Reb Eli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make personal enjoyment so many. In honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Boys, we're holding Daf Lamed Ches Amud Aleph on top. Oh, first we're going to go, we got over here, the hot seat. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Ari Donowitz.
From?
Rockaway.
Rockaway. Where in Rockaway? Bayswater. Shalom Aleichem. You went to school over there in Rockaway? You just moved there now?
I've been there for a while.
No, I'm saying you didn't go to Darchi South Shore. That's okay. So else. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? Queens, New York. Shalom Aleichem. You, we said hello to. You, Shalom Aleichem.
Rockmeal Donowitz from Baltimore.
Ah. No, how do you like this new table? It's a good idea or not a good idea? So there's a guy, Nat 101, who sends in beautiful art. I like it a lot. But this one I wasn't sure. He says, listen, what are you making a table? What are they, mitzurayim, chutz lamachna? So since then I've been asking all, the guests love it. They love it. They walk in, everybody knows now. You come in, you walk to the front. It's good. You feel like a mitzvah? Anybody feel like a mitzvah? So say Nat 101, you don't know what you're talking about. Everybody together. No, I'm just kidding. So what's your name?
Yehuda Fight.
From?
From North Woodbury. And I did go to Soundstrom.
Oh, okay. Gewaldig. Gewaldig. Anybody else is a guest here that wants to read this? Oh, it becomes hard. Who? You? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Joe Malone.
Surfside. Shalom Aleichem. Okay. Gewaldig. Anybody? You're ready. Second day. Yo Steiner. Huh? Who else? That's. Oh, Shalom Aleichem guest. How you doing? You got the best seat in the house next to Ashi, whatever. Yeah. What's your name?
Baruch Mulgay.
From?
Florence.
Wow, a bunch of queens. Okay, gewaldig. You know, what do you say? We gotta put together a screen in Woodmere over there. There's a lot of guys that do the daf. We'll get together, no? Why should we wait for Lakewood, which is happening any day soon? Let's do it in Woodmere also. Gewaldig. Okay. So it goes like this. I have a question for the Olam. Think about this before you answer. It's a tricky question. Think about this. If there's 5 people that sue one person, and the guy answers them and he says like this, I don't owe you, and not you, and not you, and not you. He says and. The fact that he says and, or in Hebrew it's a vav, v'loy lecha, v'loy lecha, v'loy lecha, does that make it one sentence or it breaks up the sentence? In other words, do you owe 1 carbon or 5 karbanos? Again, 5 people come to him and say, listen, you owe us $1 million. So he says, I don't know you, and I don't know you, and I don't know you, and I don't know you. Did he break it up and he said and therefore it's a carbon for each individual? Or because he said and, in Hebrew, the vav is a mechaber, so it's v'loy lecha, v'loy lecha, v'loy lecha. It's one long sentence, so I bring 1 carbon on the one sentence. What do you guys say? No? I want to hear some answers here. What do you say? You say machlokes. Hillel? Machlokes. What does anybody else say? Machlokes is the easy way out. What? 5. He broke it up.
Yes.
But also it's it's like one long thing. A lot of times it's like a mechaber.
Enumerate each individual.
Huh?
Enumerate each individual.
I hear. You're saying good. Anybody else? Anybody say the opposite of him? No? What do you say?
One, because it's one.
Oh, I like when there's machlokes.
Kadon, and it's like if he said if he says different stuff.
Yeah, Gezel, Pikada, and this, Aveda, yeah.
But if he just says like the whole thing is one thing, the whole thing is
But he's
one law.
talking to 5 different people. And not to you, and not to you, and not to you.
It's one law. It's one.
Who says it's one loan? Maybe it's 5 different loans. I hear. So that's basically what we're going to be discussing for a bit over here. When we're done with that, we're going to we have a very, very easy mission on Amud Beis. We have to just get to there. But we have a whole sugya, is the vav. Now, you said the vav separates it. So let's say there's no vav. Let's say it's loy lecha, loy lecha, loy lecha. He doesn't say the word and. Just loy, 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 loy. Is it 1 or it's also 5?
Also 5.
How do I hear this guy? He's in Flatbush. Can't get rid of the guy. You guys are monsters over there. You understand what we go through every single day? He's Givaldi. The guy's Givaldi. Okay, listen. Also, he says also. So in fact, we're going to see here that it's very possible that they're reverses of each other. The vav, according to one man Amar, connects them all. You only bring 1 carbon. Loy lecha, loy lecha, loy lecha is 5 karbanos, or it's the exact reverse. Loy lecha is 1 carbon, it's 1 sentence. V'loy lecha is 5. And then we're going to have to bring a raya for here and there, and that's the sugya. It's not a big deal. It's almost like Gadita. So let's see inside. Shevuos hapikadin keitzad tenli pikadin sheyesh lebiyotcha. He makes the guy swear 5 times. Tap lamed ches amud aleph on top, all the way on top. You could even start from the first line if you want. Shevuos hapikadin keitzad tenli pikadin sheyesh lebiyotcha. He's mashbiah him 5 times. The Mishnah says Yechayev 5. Torah Rabbanon. Kolal is like klal upratu klal. It's a generalization. You include everything. Everything is included. Everything is included. It's one statement, right? Kolal is one statement. It's one sentence. On one sentence, you bring one carbon. Parat, it's very specified. It's individualized. So you bring many karbanas. It breaks up the sentence into 5 pieces, so you have to bring 5 karbanas. You know what? Ari Simon, I'm giving you a mission. Sit over there and think to yourself, how can you make it better? How can we make America great again? No, he's the MAGA guy. He said MAGA in his thing. He's the MAGA. How do you make it where people are going to want to come and sit b'tzafta and learn together? What are the miles of it? What are the chesroinas? Maybe the screen is not good. They need slushies. I hear different things. Think about it while we're learning. Akiva Ziegler, shalom aleichem, a good vach. Somebody gave them a mic. I don't know, like whoever that is, fire him immediately.
Very loud, all the way from here.
What? Is it working good? Is it choppy? It's good? It works?
Great.
Everything works. Okay, good. Technology.
Technology.
If you included all the entire statement into one, you chayav 1 carbon. Parat chayva kolachas v'achas Duvie Reb Meir. The only thing is that we don't know right now what is considered an inclusion, what's considered a specification, what's an individualized sentence, and what's one sentence. He doesn't explain. He says, if it's included, it's 1 carbon. That we understand. And what's a prat? You'd be chayav on each and every one. I don't know yet. Duvie Reb Meir. Reb Yehuda Omer. And we're going to see Reb Yehuda says basically the opposite of Reb Meir, according to Shmuel. Reb Yehuda Omer, Shvuah loylecha, veloylecha. If you stick in that extra vav, and, chayva kolachas v'achas, that breaks it up, like you said. Reb Elazar Omer, loylecha, veloylecha, but we didn't even start the sugya tzaddik. This is just the beginning. So far you're right. If he said at the end, he's stuck in the word shvuah, you have to stick that word in at the end, so that breaks each piece up into an individual, and that's why you're chayav for each and every one. We're not going to be dealing with Reb Eliezer today, and neither with Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon Omer, shvuah lekolachas v'achas. You have to say the word shvuah in the beginning, not at the end, but if you say the word shvuah in the beginning, you broke it up into different pieces. Okay. Omer Rabbi Yehuda, Omer Shmuel. Now comes Shmuel. Klal shel Reb Meir. What Reb Meir holds is one sentence, it's one klal, it's one inclusion. That happens to be Prati shel Rabbi Yehuda. That exact sentence is how Rabbi Yehuda breaks it up. So Yoshi did it something like this. You see, it's one sentence. It's one block, one, I don't know what that is. What color is that? Like a pinkish, purple, I don't know what it is. It's one block. He said, v'loylecha, v'loylecha. It connects it all, and therefore, according to Reb Meir, 1 carbon. That same exact sentence, Reb Yehuda takes and breaks it up into 5 pieces. It's 5 carbonas. It's the same sentence. But he holds that every time you say v'loy, what's the logic behind it? I'm saying, I owe you a carbon. I said, I don't owe you $1 million. I owe you a carbon. And you know, I'm going to take the same exact thing and I'm going to talk to you. V'loy lecha. Everything that I just told you, I'm talking to you. And therefore, each v is actually, and each one is another carbon. Okay. Now, and he continues. The sentence that Reb Yehuda says is one general sentence. It's one sentence, and you'd only be chayav 1 carbon that happens to be probably Reb Meir. Here, the sentence all the way on the bottom. Reb Yehuda says that's one sentence when there's no vavs involved, no red vavs. It's loylecha. It's very similar. So how do you That's what's confusing. You keep on saying loylacha, loylacha, viloylacha, viloylacha. It's the same sentence just with the vav. The word and. If you take out the and, loylacha, 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 says Reb Eli, that's one sentence. Says Reb Meir, no, the opposite. That makes me break it up. If there's a vav, I don't break it up. If there's no vav, I break it up. Hafuch al hafuch. So everything that one says, the other one argues. Which the Gemara just says, how do I know? Because Rabbi Yehuda is replying to Reb Meir. He says, whatever you say, I'm saying the opposite. We don't know exactly what he said, but he's saying the opposite of Reb Meir.
And he could have said it as a bigger chiddush if he held without the vav.
Well, we don't know if it's a bigger chiddush. Why is it a bigger chiddush? V means it's a whole new thing. It's a whole new thing. Once I say and to you, and means whatever I just did before, I want to repeat. It's not. That's what he's saying. Hagufa, it's not a bigger chiddush. Look, he's saying loylacha, loylacha, I hold. According to Reb Meir, that's where I break it up. V'loylacha, I don't break it up. It's not a bigger chiddush or a lesser chiddush. It's how to understand the vav and without a vav.
Can they hear different sentences?
Huh?
Can they hear different sentences? I don't owe you, and I don't know him.
If it doesn't say a vav, it doesn't say and.
Is there a break between? Is there a break between each
That's
That's the question. What does the vav do?
You and you and you and you and you versus I don't owe you and I don't owe you.
So Reb Shimon says. Reb Shimon says you have to say Shavua Lolacha, Shavua Lolacha.
Oh, that's, yeah.
That's somebody else.
Oh, I didn't even explain that. Let's go back. Reb Shimon Oimer, Shvuah lekolachas v'achas. You have to say the word Shvuah in each and every one. I might have said over there that Shvuah was in the beginning. No. Shvuah in each sentence. Shvuah not to you, Shvuah not to you, Shvuah not to you. But the way he's saying it now is, he looks at all five. Loylacha, loylacha, loylacha. I don't know how fast he said it, but he said not to you, not to you, not to you. Or he said viloylacha, viloyla, and not to you, and not to you. And you can look at it each way. You see according to Shmuel, you can look at it in both directions. What
combination? Not to you, not to you, not to you, and not to you.
Okay, so then now you're mixing up two things. Again, Reb Meir says and not to you. It's all one. And not to you, without the word and, is broken up. And Reb Yehuda says the exact opposite. When you say loylacha, loylacha, it's one. But if you say viloylacha, you break it up, according to Shmuel. Reb Yochanan says it's different. Reb Yochanan says there's only one machlokes here. Reb Yochanan hakol moedim biviloylacha shu prat. Everybody agrees that once you stick in the word ve and, then it becomes an individual thing. It becomes separate. Here, Reb Yochanan. So all Yoshi did is he put Reb Meir and Yehuda on one line. That's it. Everybody agrees that viloylacha, you have to bring separate korbanos, and that's basically what he said, right? So he's making more sense now. Viloy is breaking it up. So where's the whole machlokes? Ella beloylacha. If it doesn't have a vav, it just says loylacha, loylacha, loylacha. Now once again, Reb Meir is going to say that it's broken up. So take a look over here. This is important. These two cases, Reb Meir says, are broken up. Vilai or ulai, everything is broken up. There's no difference between a vav and no vav. It's 5 different korbanos. The question is going to be, according to Reb Meir, so what's one? When do you bring one korban, according to Reb Meir? If you say loi, 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 you bring 5 korbanos. If you say vilai, vilai, vilai 5 times, you bring 5 korbanos. So when do you bring one? Oh. And Reb Yehuda argues, only in this case, on leilacha, that's one. Oh, so then in a case where he says, she'ein lochem, that's very general. He's putting everybody into one group. I don't know, he looks at all 5 people, says one thing, I don't know any of you money. Okay, so that's one korban. That's obvious. What's more obvious? Or not more, what should be a greater reason to bring one korban? When he looks at 5 people, says, I don't know any of you money, or he says not to you, not to you, not to you, not to you. What should be make more sense that it's only one korban? When he says lochem, all of you, okay. The Gemara is going to use that as a svara soon. If I wanted to say a chiddush, I should have said a bigger chiddush. Loylacha, loylacha, loylacha is one korban. It's a bigger chiddush. Okay, we're going to get there. With a vav shu prat, that breaks it up. Without a vav, shermei oimer prat, Rebbe oimer klal. Oh, so we had the question. There's a seat up here, there's a seat over there if you want. Here's the question: Ve'ezah klal shel Meir. So, in what sentence, according to Meir, does he only bring one carbon? It's all included. Shevuos she'ein lachem biyadi. Okay, this one that where you say, I don't know any of you money. Now, why is there a machlokes between Shmuel and Reb Yochanan? B'maikom mifligi. Shmuel Dyckman Braisa, Reb Yochanan Dyckman Mistis. It's just a question of where to infer from. Where do you make your diuk from? Shmuel Dyckman Braisa. Shmuel holds we should learn from the Braisa. B'dekol Reb Yehuda v'loy lecha prata havi. All of a sudden, Reb Yehuda says, "Oh, you should know if it has a vav. Now you're being specific. You're breaking it up." So he's coming to argue on something that Reb Meir said, and he's saying, "I hold the opposite of you." Right? When Reb Yehuda says a statement, he's talking to his counterpart. He's talking to Reb Meir, and he's saying, "Whatever you said, I'm saying the opposite. I disagree with you." Reb Yehuda says, "No. When you add the word and, that breaks it up." So obviously Reb Meir said, no, it's not a broken up statement, it's one long statement, you chayev one carbon, and Reb Yehuda says, no, and that you chayev 5 karbanos. So let's go back to Shmuel for a second. Obviously, Reb Meir said it's one statement when you stick in a vav. That's why Reb Yehuda came along and said, no, lilui is broken up. Why didn't he say, I'm breaking it up? Who asked him to make a statement? He made this statement that you have to break it up because Reb Meir said the opposite, that it's not broken. No, I disagree. Reb Yochanan says in both cases, whether you say lilui or you say loi, in both cases you can see over here, Reb Meir holds it's broken up. And on that, Reb Yehuda said, I could agree to one thing on the top thing here. Look, there's no machlok to Reb Meir and Reb Yehuda, it's on one line. If you say and, I agree that it's broken up. From that we're going to infer. But he argues on the other case. From Reb Yehuda saying, I agree on the top case, that means he doesn't agree on the loi when it doesn't have a vav. Shmuel, and what does Shmuel say? Shmuel has a very powerful taina against Reb Yochanan. What's better? We're talking in Gemara over here. We're talking about what we argue about, not what we agree about. Why would you say, "Oh, I agree with you"? Say what I disagree with you. That's more important, right? Shmuel, why should he come and tell him, "Oh, I admit to you that in the case of lilui lecha, that I agree"? Tell me what you don't agree with. You should say, "Hello, I disagree with you in the case of Loilacha." When there's no vav, that's where I argue with you. That would make a lot more sense. And tell me where the argument is. Many years ago, when I was about 15 years old, I read the famous book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Anybody? So a lot of you say this, I don't know, it's stuck in my head, a lot of the stuff. But one thing you said over there is that you have an argument with somebody, and in the middle of the argument, you realize that he's right about something. So what's the natural instinct? The natural instinct is like to hide it. Like you start talking about other stuff. He says, no. You should admit. You should tell him, you know what? You happen to be right in that area. And that will give you more power, more whatever he says over there. Then he'll trust you. More trust. Look, you're admitting to something. But now on this other piece, I want to argue with you. Shtickle kash from this Gemara over here says the opposite. Tell them what you're arguing. Don't tell them what you agree on. Don't talk about what you agree. It's not important now. For Gemara, it's not important. Maybe to win over people, influence people, okay, fine. But in Gemara, we're talking about where's the machlok. It's not where we. If any time somebody said a halacha and other people say v'Rebekiva moidaloi, then this one agree. That's not the point. Is what he argues. Yeah.
After Reb Yochanan killed Rish Lakish, someone else came and asked kashas. He said, "I don't need your kashas. I don't need your rayas. The folks used to ask kashas on me. That I liked. Your rayas don't help me."
Oh. Gemara is about fighting about machlokes. Not mamish, but okay. The point of the Gemara is to bring out the halacha to show that people have different opinions. I want to see the other opinion. I want to see where you might have. Okay, that's Shmuel's taina. So Shmuel brought a raya from the Brisa. Rabbi Yochanan brings a raya from the Mishnah. That what? Midikamer Reb Meir Shvuos she'ein lochem biyadi klal avi. Yeah, I think I said it. Why are you being minded to him? Argue with him. Talk to him. Talk about what you argue, not talk about what you admit to. Yeah, if we go back over here, all the way in the bottom of this list, the question was, so what sentence is it that Reb Meir agrees that's inclusive, includes everything? Oh, if he says a very vague thing, I don't know anybody money. Oh, anybody money, all of you, I don't know money. All of you, and there's no viloi, no knows. It's just, I don't know any of you money, that's one carbon. So the question is, it's a very good kasha here. Says Rabbi Yochanan, obviously, anything that includes a lie in it is going to break it up. Why? Because if with a viloi is also inclusive, what's a bigger chiddush? To say a very vague, Meir admits, excuse me, in a very general statement, I don't know any of you money, that's one carbon. Okay, that's nice. But it would be a lot stronger if I said, if a guy says, V'loilecha, it's also one carbon. That's what he should say. He should say the much greater chiddush. Even if he says, and not to you, and not to you, and not, you still only owe one carbon. The fact that he doesn't say it, and he only says there's only one case where you bring one carbon, where he says, I don't know any of you money, but he doesn't say V'loi. Obviously in the V'loi, he breaks it up. Reb Meir breaks it up. That's why Rabbi Yochanan, you see, Loilecha is broken up. V'loi, it's all broken up. It's considered many karbanos. And Shmuel says that's not a great raya, because you're right, it's very vague. Shvuos she'ein lechem biyadi is very vague. But guess what? V'loilecha, and Shvuos she'ein lechem biyadi are identical. I think they're the same statement. There's no different statement. Okay. Tanan.
Saying more words, but like the same thing.
Tanan loilecha.
The same as like when we say Bizu. No.
I don't know. When we get to Kiddushin, you're going to have to wait 5.5 years. How long ago was Kiddushin? It was a while. Says the Gemara. You're going to like this one. This is Mamish Agata. Tanan, loilecha, v'loilecha. It says in our Mishnah, it says vav, and you chayiv on each and every one. Now, Stam Mishnah is Reb Meir. So take a look at this. What does Shmuel say? When it says vav, the top one, it's one box, you bring one carbon. L'chayr, our Mishnah, it says mamish the opposite. It says viloi, a bunch of vavs, and you have to bring on each and every one. There's a kash on Shmuel. So now let's look at the Mishnah. Take a look at this. It's very good. Shevuos she'ein lecha biyadi, viloi lecha. That's our Mishnah. You chayiv on each and every one. How's Shmuel going to get out of this? There's only one way to do this. You got to drop the vavs. If you drop the vavs, now it's loilecha. Oh, now it fits right into Shmuel. Loilecha, Reb Meir admits it's separate. But what are you going to do with this piece? Telling pikadon usum asyad ve'aveda. Oh, you're going to have to drop the vavs. What about this piece? Telling chidim usayim ukusum. You got to drop the vavs. So the Gemara says, well, that's a lot of vavs to drop. You made a lot of mistakes here. You want one sentence, I can understand you made a mistake. But all this, so let's see inside. You see, even though there's vavs, you chayv on each and every one. That's the opposite of Shmuel, who says that according to Reb Meir, if there's a bunch of vavs, you chayiv one, not 4, 5. Says Gemara, you got to drop the vavs. Okay, so what about the end of the second part of the Mishnah? It says, I think we're missing a vav over there by the gezel, but you get the idea. You got to drop those vavs. It says vavs. Get rid of the vavs. It says Gemara, what, he made so many mistakes. a few mistakes. No, I could stomach one or two mistakes. It's happened before. But the whole Mishnah is Meshubash. Ela Homani Rebbe. Oh, you're right. It's not Remeir. The Mishnah is not Remeir at all. This Mishnah is Rebbe. The author of the Mishnah, he put his own sheet in there. The Omar, Loishna Kezayis, Kezayis, Veloishna Kezayis, Ukezayis, Protahavi. What's going on here? Gevaldik. This is like Hagdama to Kachim, coming up soon. Coming up. You love Kachim, no? Kachim was very good. Very geschmack, but not as geschmack as Avodah Zarah. I love doing Avodah Zarah. Says
that is going to be a short.
That's a short.
Okay, it goes like this. Most of this stuff everybody knows. It's a little bit of a chazara. There's a couple of little nekudas that you might not have known. But it goes like this. If a kohen, while performing the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash, avodah means the four avodas, which is shchita, kabbalah, hatzlacha, and zrika. We're not getting into it, but one of the four things that he does, shechting the animal, receiving the blood, moving the blood towards the mizbeach, sprinkling it on the mizbeach. If during that process he thinks in his mind the thought that he's going to eat this animal after the allotted time, most animals you could only eat for 2 days at most, some only 1 day, and he thinks to himself, I'm going to eat this animal, I'm going on vacation, I'm going to eat it in 5 days from now. Well, I don't know where the vacation is, but that's a different thing. We're going to talk about Mekayma in a second. The allotted time, you're only allowed to eat it for 2 days. He thinks in his mind, I'm going to eat this on Tuesday. On Wednesday, now it's Sunday, okay? I'm going to eat on Wednesday. That makes it pigul, and if somebody eats that carbon, he's chayiv karas. Now, very similar but different. Person thinks in his mind, I'm going to eat this outside of the Beis Hamikdash. I could only eat this carbon inside the Beis Hamikdash. I'm going to eat it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Or, I'm allowed to eat this carbon inside Yerushalayim because shlamim, it's a carbon kachik kalb. And he thinks to himself, I'm going to eat it in Bet Shemesh. I'm going to eat it in New York. That's chutz l'mekoymai. That thought alone makes it possible. There's no karas though. No karas. Next halacha. If you think first pigul, great. But what if you thought about that you're going to eat it in New York? So now this carbon becomes what we call puzzle. Then he had another thought. 5 minutes later, I'm going to eat it in 5 days from now. I'm going to make it pigul. Pigul doesn't grab on. Pigul has to be on something that you're able to eat. It's kosher. It's a kosher carbon. If there's a puzzle carbon, there's no pigul on it. So, but what if you start off thinking pigul and then you move on to zman? It's good because you started out with pigul. So you chayiv karas. I'm talking about how do you get a guy to be chayiv karas? You have to think pigul first. Says Rebbe, those are the two boxes on the bottom. Even if a guy thought to himself, kezayis pigul, kezayis makom, one kezayis I'm going to eat in 5 days from now, so that's pigul. One kezayis I'm going to eat in New York, that's makom. He's over on pigul. Why? Because pigul happened first. You get karas. It doesn't matter if he thought in his mind, kezayis pigul, kezayis makom. He added a vav. It doesn't matter, and or without the and. Regardless, it's not one sentence. That's his point. If it would be one sentence, one thought, so it's not a good pigul. Why? Because the pigul comes with chutz l'makom. And we said if pigul doesn't apply itself if there's another isser there. And it's one sentence, there's another isser. But this sentence is broken up. Why? Because he said kezayis, kezayis. Or he said kezayis, kezayis. Either way you say it, it's broken up. Like he takes Remeir and Reb Yud in the same sentence. You know what I mean? He's saying both shitas. I don't care if it's and I don't care without that, it's broken up. Great. So that's Remeir, that's Rebbe. Rebbe, the Omar, Loishna Kezayis. Kezayis doesn't matter if it doesn't have a vav. Loishna Kezayis, Kezayis, if it has a vav. Protahavi, it's broken up. And pigul came first in this case. He's chayiv karas. Great. Next. Tashma. So basically the same exact raya that we brought before, but this is stronger. Tashma mididei. This comes from Remeir himself. Remeir Oimer, here look, Remeir says, Afilu chita usa oira, what do I see here? A vav, vikusemes, vav, chayiv al kol achas va'achas. What does Shmuel say? That according to Remeir, if there's vavs, it's one sentence. Over here it says, chayav al kolachas v'achas. It's mamish akash on Shmuel. What are you going to do? So he's going to do the same trick you did before. Tani chita soyer kusemes. Take off the vavs. But so what do you think? I'm just asking you questions. I anticipate you're going to take off the vavs there. The problem is maya filu. If you're taking off the vavs, then what does it mean even? Now it's exactly like there's two different things now. Now there's with a vav and without a vav. With a vav, you're saying it's one sentence. Without a vav, it's broken up. So what's afilu? Afilu means not only the first case, but even this case. Now there's two separate cases. One yichayev, one yichayev 5. So what's afilu? If they're the same exact case, if the outcome is the same, so I'm going to say, even if he says a vav, it's the same as the first case. Afilu. So now he comes he says, you know what, there's a completely different chiddush over here. Afilu means, there's a great trick you could do. Yeah? Every kid does this trick. You say, I saw you eating one kernel of wheat. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to swear. You have a way out of it. I swear I didn't eat 2. But that doesn't answer the question. He said, I saw you eating 1. I swear I didn't eat 2. Shkoyach. You tried to get out of it. The answer is no. When you say, I swear you didn't eat 2, it also means you didn't eat 1. So it's not a good trick. You're going to be over on a shvuah. That's what he's saying over here. That the word chitin, if you swear that you didn't eat plural, that includes even a singular. And you can't get out of the shvuah. But that's a side chiddush. Tenli b'kadin, it says in the Mishnah. Tenli b'kadin usum siyad gazav aveda sheish libiyadcha. And then we continue. Tenli chitim usarim. I want you to give me. You owe me wheat and barley. Amar b'yechanan pruta mekulam mitzvah efes. In order to be chayav shvuah, you have to deny at least one pruta, right? The whole Torah, you have to do a pruta. What if I deny a half a pruta of barley and a half a pruta of wheat? Says Reb Eli, they come together. You bring a carbon for that. Now, pligi bar Ravacha v'Ravina chadom ha'pratim mechayev ha'klal mechayev. Very gishmak. Check this out. Look at this. This looks like, I don't know. To me, it looks like Madoff. Everybody says yomi money, yomi money. So he says Shevuos she'en lecha biyadi. That's a general statement, and he says no chitim, no sa'irim, no kusmim. So we have a machlokes. We had this in the previous Masechta, I think, very not so far away. The question is, he is going to be chayiv on 3 things because he said not chitim, not sa'irim, not kusmim. But the question is he chayiv another carbon for his original statement, the generalized statement, which I don't know you anything. Not chitim, not sa'irim, not kusmim. That's the shaila. Now, we're going to get more into it in a second. It's gishmak. How many korbanos? What? Who? Oh, yeah, I have. There's a kasha on the AI. How we say? Okay, so now if you say chadom ha'pratim mechayev, aklol lo mechayev. He's only chayev here. Let's just show it again. You only chayev on the prat, the chitim, sa'irim, kusmim, on 3 things. But on number 1, Shevuos she'en lecha biyadi, is too generalized. You don't have to bring a carbon for that. Now, if that's true, you don't have to bring a carbon for Shevuos she'en lecha biyadi. So it comes out that he wouldn't be able to bring a carbon. It wouldn't be mitzdaref. Why? Because if I'm bringing a carbon just on chitim and a special carbon on sa'irim and a special carbon on kusmin, how could I take a half a pruta from chitim and put it together with a half a pruta of sa'irim? That's very individual stuff. Each one gets its own carbon. How could I put them together? They don't go together. If I'm bringing a carbon also on Shevuos she'en lecha biyadi, that's a generalization. So that could be mitzaref, a half a pruta from here, a half a pruta here. But if I'm going very, very specific, chitim carbon, sa'irim carbon, it wouldn't work. According to this, then Reb Eli would work also in the Seifa. Okay, because there's a cloud. Now, check this out. Look at this picture for a second. You're gonna be high for 2, 3, and 4. 3 things. Chitim, sa'irim, kusman. Times 5 people. You denied 5 people. So how many korbanos do we have? 3 times 5 equals 15. Now, But if you're right, then you also have to pay a carbon for number one, for the general one. So now we have four items. 4 times 5 equals 21. So we have 20. Oh, I thought 4 times 5 is 21. Okay. Hi Tana, the prodigal chashiv. The klal chashiv. The answer is don't ask kashas on the punishment. Just want to wake you guys up. See, one guy was listening. Hi Tana, the prodigal chashiv. The klal. Look, you know what? It's not such a big shaila. You're right. He says no. You have to bring a carbon for all 4. But he wasn't talking about the first one. That's a very general thing. I'm talking about the chitin, the soyer, the kuzmin. That's only 3. 3 times 5 is 15. But you're right. You really should bring 20. As the Gemara, very good. But there's another place that Reb Eli says you have to bring 20. So obviously he is considering the first one. 4 times 5. Says Gemara, no, not a good raya. Because in this case, there's only 3 things. Chitim, soyer, and kuzmin. Take a look at this. That's 4 times 5 and 20. No. Where was it? You did something else somewhere. Oh, yeah, this one. Oh, without the general Shevuos, there's 4 items in this other case in the Mishnah. Pikad and Sumas Yed, Gezel V'Aveda. I see he doesn't like the V'Gezel. Okay, fine, doesn't matter. The point is, so over here you have 4 times. Oy, why did you take out a guy? There's supposed to be 5 people there, like this. Okay, a little bit of a mistake. 4 times 5, pretend Avrem, you know how to put another person in there. Take one of these guys, add him in there. We got to add him in because it's a mistake in the cheshbon here. Here. Oh, he's the picture guy. 4 times 4. Oh. No, okay, this is something else. He's right. No, don't add another person there. But I'm using this for this sugya for a second. The next sugya. Okay, I have what he's doing. This is a case of there's 4 items there. We're running out of time here. So ask Rav from Menachem. 5 people sued him. Here. I don't know why, again, it doesn't make sense there's 4 people here, but okay. I know why he did it, but it should really be 5. So 5 people sued him for 4 things. Okay? He tells one of them, I don't owe you 4 things. So how many karbanos does he have to bring? 4. And then he listened to this, Rabbi Isai, this is a trick. A kid got it yesterday, a young guy. He says to one guy, I don't owe you 4 things. So he's chayav 4 karbanos. And then he says, loy. So either he's chayav a total of 20, 4 times 5, or he's chayav how many? 4 at least. Why 8? 1. Very good. That's the answer. 8. 4 for this, and for each guy, only 1 more carbon. So it's a total of 8. So says Gemara. And everything I told the first guy applies to you and you and you and you. Is he chayav 1, which means in lashon of the Gemara 8. 1 equals 8. Or maybe he's chayav 20. For each one, each loy lecha starts the whole process over. I don't owe you 4 karbanos. I don't know you because that's 4 per guy. There's 5 guys, it's 20. Toshma, the Torah Reb Eli arikan esrim chatois. Reb Eli says mufurish is 20. Hechidami, eat the parish. If he told each one, I don't know you because in Tzumsiyad Gezeb Aveda. I don't know you Tzumsiyad Gezeb Aveda. I don't know you. So the question is, Reb Eli minyan slash minan. What he's talking to Panovich guys? They need the count 1 plus 2 plus 3. Or 4 times 5 equals 20. Everybody knows 4 times 5 equals 20. So why did he have to tell me a number? Obviously, he didn't talk to each and every one like that. He didn't say, I don't know you 4 things, and I don't know you 4 things, because that would be 4 times 5. What he did was, I don't know you 4 things, and then he said, and not to you, and not to you. And the chiddush is, you would think you only chayav 8, like on the screen. That's why he says 20, not 8, 20. I have to tell you a number. but he wasn't mefarish. Either barish, lab lilui parish, ushmamina pratahavi, and each one you chayav 4 for each one, and we'll do the turning of the daf or a boisai. Let's start from Adar Global. Going global to be mechazik them MDY Chevra on the East Coast. See you there. Kidnovations LC in honor of our sons Kalmo. Halmo and Yisrael for learning Sanhedrin, Makis, and Shevuos of Reb Eli. Anonymous in honor of Mark Ashkenazi. Enough said. The other was laughing here because we saw you guys live in New York. It's Mamish Givaldik.
You're going to appreciate me more during shir when I make less noise.
So far you made the same, so it's no difference. Anasto b'tidas biti. Okay, so he said in the Mishnah, if somebody accuses somebody else, Mimanis' daughter, Mifat's daughter, he says, I owe me 50. So Reb Shimon says he's potter. Why? Because when you deny a knas, there's no shvuas ha'edos on money. Anasto b'tidas biti. Reb Shimon potter. My time to Reb Shimon. What's his svara? The problem is like this: when a person accuses somebody else for oinus, he's also talking about. And there's not only the 50 shekel that the Torah says yichayev, but there's also busha, boishes v'gam, 2 things. And boishes is not a knas. Boishes, we said, it depends on the woman. Each woman gets a different amount. So okay, very good. On the knas, you part from the shvuah doesn't. You don't bring a carbon for that. But what about the busha part? My time with Reb Shimon. So he says, no, his mind is on the knas. The Gemara is going to explain it a little bit better. So, and I'll give you a good mashal. He says mashal, and it happens to be. I don't understand this mashal. You'll see Abai has a bam kash on it. Have a great mashal. Somebody sued somebody for 3 items. I could only swear on one. I swear I don't have any wheat. And we found out that he's 100% right. He never stole any chitim, but he's a big ganav. He does have the barley and the spelt. For that he's potter. Why? Because he only swore on the wheat, and he really doesn't have wheat. The fact that we found barley in his house, he never swore on that. So Mel over here also says Rava, he swore that he doesn't owe any knas for the oinus. He never spoke about the busha. I don't understand what you're talking about. Midami. Over here he said specifically, I don't owe you wheat, but he never said a word about the spelt. But by the oinus, he says, I don't know what you're talking about. In other words, he denies the busha also. He denies the knas. He's denying everything. And then we caught him red-handedly. Okay, so you don't pay knas, but you should pay for the busha. I'll give you a mashal. He claimed that you owe me 3 items. And the guy swore that he doesn't owe him anything. That's like our case. I don't know you for the busha. I don't know you for the knas. And we found out he's not chayiv 1. So in our case, we found out he's not chayiv for the knas. Pay up for the busha. The mechayiv. I'll tell you something else. He's actually not even asking him for the busha. But according to Chachamim, he is. Why? What's the svara? When a person has 2 items to sue his friend, he's going to go for what's 100%. What's 100%? The 50 in the Torah. That is no argument. You have to pay 50, not 51, not 49, 50. So I'm going to ask you for something that everybody knows. But busha, he's going to say, no, she's worth less, she's worth more, she's the best girl in the seminary, she's wealthy, it's more money, less money. The Gemara says it depends on the type of person. And the manas, so it's a big argument. You know what? Enough with the headache. I'm suing you for something that I know. Oh, that's the next thing. It's hard to understand. You're right, it's hard. They talk about what you're saying. Maybe that's the human nature. You know what? Right now, I'm going for what I know. Exactly. Let's focus. It's easier to get something. If you're all over the place, and then they're going to start 6 months of deliberations, how much she's worth. Meanwhile, they're not giving you the knas. You know what I'm saying? I need the money today. And they'll say, no, let's make 1 payment at the end, but we don't know what the bush is. Let's go to the market, and this, come back next month. We don't have any availability now. You know what? Let me get something that I know in Shalom Yisrael. Rabbanan say a different svar. He's only going to sue something that the guy can never get out of it. You know what? On a knas, you can get out of it. If you admit to it, you get out of it completely. So let me focus on something you can never get out of it, which is the busha. So it's the busha and the knas. So we have a super easy mishnah here.
I quote the Refuah.
What?
He says if he's going to be cover everything, it'll be too much and he'll be kofar bakal.
Okay, good svar. It'll be kofar bakal if he asks for too much. Go easy and go for something solid. So we all know about Moed B'Miktsas. Somebody sues you and you admit for half, the Chacham the Bezin makes you make a Shevuah. Now there's a famous concept, and the Mishnah talks about it. Tane Bechitim V'Hoide B'Soirim. If you sue somebody for one item, you say, you owe me gold, and he says, no, I don't owe you gold, but I do owe you silver, that's not a Moed B'Miktsas. It's a different item, you don't have to pay. That's basically the whole Mishnah. Huh? You don't have to Shevuah. Yeah, no Shevuah. Sorry, no Shevuah. Shevuah Sadayanim. Hatayna Shtei Kesef. So in order to be mechayiv somebody a Shevuah for this, you have to claim at least 2 kesef. So that's the Gemara we're going to see. Most of the stuff is going to be explained in the Gemara. That's no chiddush, right? In all of the Torah, in order to be chayiv anything, it has to be a pruta's worth. So your admission has to be a pruta. And if you're admitting to something that wasn't in the taina, he asks you for gold, you admit to silver, potter. You completely potter for a Shevuah. What's the case? You owe me silver. And he admits that he owes him copper, potter. So it's important to notice here that we're not talking about money, we're talking about the item. We're talking about, he didn't say you owe me $100 and he admitted to 50. He didn't say you owe me 100 and I only owe you pruta. He claimed you owe me silver and he admitted to a different item called copper. That's why he's potter. Had he claimed a monetary value, you owe me 100 of these, and he said I only owe you 1 pruta of it, then you need to be chayiv. It's because he spoke about the copper versus the silver. Shtei kesef pruta yesh li biyadcha. You owe me 2 plus 1 little pruta, and he said ein lecha biyadi le pruta, and he admits to the small amount. Chayav, then that's a typical Moed B'Miktsas. Mana li biyadcha ein lecha biyadi. You owe me 100, and he denies the whole thing. That's kofer bakol, potter. Mana li biyadcha ein lecha biyadi l-chamishim dinar. You owe me 100, and he admits to 50 of it. Chayav on this, because it's not silver to copper, it's a denomination. You owe me 100, and he admits to 50. Chayav. Mana li abu biyadcha. My father owes you owe my father money. Father's no longer around. So I'm claiming instead of my father, you owe him money. I found like a note on his desk that said that you owe him $1 million. And he admits, he admits to $500,000. Potter. That's not considered Moed B'Miktsas. Why is it not Moed B'Miktsas, Rabbi Zai? He admitted to half. The answer is, the guy, the borrower could completely deny it. He has no busha from the siyasim. He's doing him a big favor that he's admitting. He admits to the whole thing. I owe you 100. Yeah, you're right. I owe you 100. So pay me. He says, I paid you back. Potter. Because now he's a kofer bakal. He says, I paid you. But if he denies the whole thing, he says, I never owed you at all. Chayav. That's not Moed B'Miktsas. Now you're denying what you admitted yesterday. We know that you admitted. So now this guy's smart. He says, you know what? You admit that you owe me 100? Good. Don't pay me back unless there are Eidim. So you wouldn't be able to say that you pay me back. Where are the Eidim? Pay me. I already paid you back. Chayav. Why? Because we made a deal that you're going to pay me back with Eidim. You owe me a certain amount of weight of gold. And he admits to silver, potter. Different, same case, different. We have to understand why so many cases. But now if he's asking for money, if he admits to a certain coin, he's chayiv. This one has more value, but these are coins, and he admitted to a coin. You owe me a certain amount of wheat, and he admits to beans, potter. That's it's a different item. But if he doesn't say what, he just says, you owe me fruit. And he admits to some beans. Chayev. Why? Beans are within the category of fruit. I don't know if you had it. My Rebbe, you love this. I ask you this kasha, you answer me beblach and whatever. I ask you about chitim, and you answer me something completely different. I ask you for wheat, and you tell me, yeah, you owe me some barley. Potter. Reb Gamliel says in that case, he sues his friend for a bottle of wine. Now the question is the glass included? I admit to the glass. I want wine. I want Castel. I don't care about the glass, the 25 cents that it's worth. I'm asking him for a bottle of wine. And he says, you know what? I don't owe you any oil, but I'll give you the barrel. At the end of the day, he admitted a little bit. You're right, it's not what he was looking for, but it's a little bit of Eidah. You have to make a Shevuah. And Chacham say, no, it's different. Rani is different. Abba makes more sense to me. Now, Karka, there's no Shevuah on Karka. So if I admit to one of them, if I admit to Karka, if I admit to, I deny the Karka, I admit to Karka and I deny the movable objects. Potter, why? Because Karka is not included over here, because Karka ain't nishbar mal karkos. Now listen to this halacha. Potter, if he admitted to some, he's moed b'mixas on Karka, Potter, because there's no shu on Karka. But b'mixas hakelim, what if he admitted to some of the movable objects? Chayev, he's chayev even on the Karka. Why? Gilgul Shevuah. Zika Gilgul Shevuah, that's called Gilgul Shevuah. Shanachasim she'elam achrayis. Things that don't have a guarantee. Zoykim shanachasim she'elam achrayis, which we call that real estate. And the chasim that have a guarantee or real estate, lishav aleim. I can be megalgal Shevuah. Once you're chayiv for the kalim, then I'll say, you know what? Swear also on the karka. If a shaita makes you swear, you don't have to swear. You cannot make a cotton swear. But you could swear to a cotton to take something. We'll see the Gemara and the Hegdish. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.